Welcome to everyLA Talks with Los Angeles real estate agent Matthias Baker Mazzucci.
All right, let's talk about what does good property management look like. Now, we're talking to Jason today, who not only is an expert in property management, but sees a lot of companies that do property management. So somebody goes to him, they may have terrible systems, they're doing bad or whatever, and he makes sure that they reach a level where they become a good property management company. So Jason, what makes a good property management company?
Yeah, so I've been doing this for over a decade and a half. I've talked to thousands of property managers. So there's a lot of different variables that make, that show whether a property management company is going to be good or not. One of the biggest and most important things is maybe avoiding, I have this framework I call the cycle of suck. Okay. The reality is most property management companies suck, and here's why. So the first step in the cycle of suck is they take on any client. Okay. So in any business, you need to qualify clients. You can't take on every client. You can't help everybody. And if you don't say no to the wrong people, then you're saying yes to everybody. You're going to have a business that is high operational cost, really difficult to manage. And so that's the most important thing that a lot of them miss is they're needy. Needy is creepy, and they take on any client. And so they have a whole bunch of owners that some of them are really like slumlords. And so then if they have bad owners, that leads to bad properties. And so if they don't filter owners, then they're also not probably filtering the properties that they're willing to manage or take on in the portfolio. So then they have bad properties. And if they have bad properties, then they also have bad tenants. Even if the tenants have A-grade credit and they've screened them, the tenant becomes a difficult scenario to deal with because the property is difficult because the owner's pushing back on repairs, on maintenance issues, blaming the tenant for everything, making it really difficult for the manager. So the manager basically becomes this crap shield for a slumlord, and the tenant then isn't happy. The owner's not happy. The properties aren't great. So that leads to the next step in the cycle of suck, which is the reputation now sucks. So now they have a bad reputation in the marketplace, and then they attract more crappy owners. And so this sums up the whole industry of property management in aggregate. Most of them try to take on any client, they take on any property, they then try to do tenant screening, and then they get bad reviews and have a bad reputation. And property management is notoriously known for having a bad reputation in the industry. It has a perception problem that it's well deserved and it's earned.
I agree with you 1000%. Thank you for bringing this up. This is a very important point. If a landlord, you use the perfect term, a slumlord. If somebody doesn't want to take care of the property, keeps pushing back, doesn't allow the property management to upkeep the property, it turns the tenant into an enemy. And this is what I find. And it works the other way around. Like if a tenant is terrible and they're not paying rent and all of those things, then it causes the landlord to, if they're managing the property, to say like, well, then I might as well, this tenant is terrible, I'm not going to fix this or whatever. And so it creates this, animosity where in reality, the housing provider, now that's, and the renter should work together. I purchased the property, I expect to make a profit. You want to live, you want a safe, clean, which everybody deserves, place to live, and together we do it. And the management company is the glue that should keep this relationship together. Now, if you're a small landlord and you are, you have 5 units or whatever and things like that, you may not appreciate the importance of a management company. But when you have 300 units, 500, 10,000, a management company is worth their weight in gold. And in order to scale properly, if you're a landlord who doesn't manage, you need to find a good management company. Would you agree with me? Like that's like one of the
absolutely.
Key to scale properly. If you can trust your management company, you buy with confidence, So I think that's a very important thing to keep in mind, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people don't realize that bad management makes bad tenants. A lot of tenants are just looking for an excuse to not pay rent. So if you start being bad at management, you're not doing the maintenance stuff, you're not getting problems taken care of. It takes you like 2 weeks to replace a water heater, like problems are like running on. So a lot of landlords self-managing think the tenant is the problem and is bad, but they are a bad manager and they've made the tenant bad. So good property managers are able to collect rent a lot more easily. During the pandemic, property management companies had almost the majority of all their tenants paying rent, while people that were self-managing, a lot of them were down 50% in rent collection.
Yeah, absolutely true. I had a conversation the other day with somebody who manages a 39-unit building here in LA, and they were saying, we treat our tenants very well. We had zero delinquency during the pandemic. And I think that's pretty awesome. Like, just to the point of what you're saying.
So, but I like what you're saying, because property managers are the superheroes of the real estate investing industry. I mean, what are three of the most complained about things on the planet? Landlords, tenants, and rentals, right?
Right.
And good property managers are superheroes that make all three of those behave better. And they manage the relationship between all three. And property management can be tough because it's second only to the hospitality industry in terms of customer interaction that is required and taking care of people. It's second only maybe to the legal industry in terms of the negotiation that has to happen. Right. This is not for the faint of heart, but good property managers are these meticulous, detail-oriented people that get systems dialed in, they make it run efficiently like a business, and they help you manage your investment way better than you could do it yourself. I think the biggest mistake that investors make is not getting a good property manager.
I agree. And in the next episode, we are going to teach you how to find a good property management company. So for now, we're going to wrap it up here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you need real estate help, we are only a call away. So we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Thank you for watching. To find out more, visit everyLA.com.